Remember me? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 comeback songs. For this list, we're looking at musical artists that returned from a significant absence, or those who reinvented themselves after commercial failures. Number 10, We Belong Together, Mariah Carey.
I didn't mean it when I said I didn't love you so. I should've held on tight, I never should've let you go.
If you're familiar with the 2001 film Glitter, then it won't come as a surprise to understand why Mariah Carey's career took a dip in the years after the film's release. Her 2002 album Charm Bracelet bombed with a capital B, but the diva recomposed herself and delivered a smash hit in 2005 with We Belong Together.
Come back, baby, please, 'cause we belong together. Who else am I gonna leave no when times get rough?
The slow jam about lost love became the second longest #1 song ever and put a cap on the lost time known as the Glitter era. Number 9, I'd Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That, Meatloaf.
And I would do anything for love. I'd run right into hell and back.
Once an understudy of John Belushi on Broadway, Marvin Lee Aday, aka Meatloaf, released one of rock's classic albums in 1977 with Bat Out of Hell. 16 years later, the singer wasn't exactly a hot commodity of the music industry, but one monster ballad from Bat Out of Hell 2, Back Into Hell, changed everything.
And some days I pray for silence, and some days I pray for soul. Some days I just pray to the God of sex and drums and rock and roll. And maybe I'm lonely.
With a classic video and constant airplay, I'd Do Anything for Love reached #1 in 28 countries, including England, where it became the longest song since the Beatles' Hey Jude to top the charts. Not a bad comeback.
I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Number 8, If I Could Turn Back Time, Cher.
If I could turn back time, if I could find a way.
For over 25 years, Cher had been in the public eye, and naturally, her career had seen many ups and downs. By the early 80s, her career reached a stopping point, which paved the way for a successful run as an actress.
Where'd Johnny find you?
He knew my husband who died.
How'd he die?
Bus hit him.
First?
Instantaneous.
And then, poof. 1989 brought Fishnets, a new album, and the powerhouse single called If I Could Turn Back Time. Although the catchy tune never reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, it became a staple of pop culture over the years.
Walk out that door, I swore that I didn't care, but I lost everything, darling, there.
Of course, she had another comeback hit almost a decade later with Believe,
Don't think you're strong enough.
the comeback queen.
Do you believe in life after love?
Number 7, Thunderstruck, AC/DC. Formed in 1973, Australian rock band AC/DC melted faces for years until the untimely death of lead singer Bon Scott in 1980. Even then, the musicians continued on with replacement Brian Johnson, but had slight commercial difficulty through the decade. But AC/DC once again shocked the world in 1990 with a thrashing new album and energetic single called Thunderstruck. The opening riffs are now unmistakable and have inspired some of the best guitar performances the world has ever seen. Behold the power of Angus Young. Number 6. Can't Get You Out of My Head. Kylie Minogue. As a former Australian soap star turned chart-topping performer, Kylie Minogue knows how to make an entrance. But what happens when the door slams shut? By the late 90s, Minogue's musical productions became commercially challenged. However, she managed to reinvent herself and released a highly addictive single called Can't Get You Out of My Head. With an eye-popping music video, an unforgettable chorus, Kylie Minogue's comeback resulted in one of the best-selling singles of all time. Number 5. Still Dre. Dr. Dre.
Guess who's back? Still.
Aw yeah! This Compton-born rapper released one of the definitive West Coast rap albums with 1992's The Chronic, but left everybody without a dope beat to step to for years after.
Well, I'm peeping and I'm creeping and I'm creeping, but I damn near got caught cause my beeper kept beeping.
But just before the dawn of a new millennium, Dr. Dre teamed up with his old pal Snoop Dogg and released Still Dre, the lead single for his sophomore effort.
It ain't nothing but mo hot shit. Another classic CD for y'all to vibe with.
Truly a pop culture event, Dre took us on a ride with a relentless beat and reintroduced himself as one of the surviving kings of hip-hop. It's Still Dre.
Taking my time to perfect the beat, and I still got love for the streets. It's the DRE.
Like that? Right back up in you. 9, 5 plus 4 pennies.
Number 4. Get Lucky. Daft Punk.
Like the legend of the Phoenix.
8 years after releasing the album Human After All, Daft Punk enlisted Pharrell Williams and Niles Rodgers for one of the most successful songs of all time.
She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky.
Get Lucky was the standout track off the Grammy Award-winning album Random Access Memories and reached the top 10 in 32 countries. Almost immediately, Get Lucky became a classic cover song and source for hilarious parodies.
What keeps the planet spinning?
But the track's funky groove never gets old. To cap off Daft Punk's phenomenal comeback, the Russian Interior Ministry Choir performed Get Lucky at the opening ceremony of the 2014 Winter Olympics. Number 3. Tears in Heaven. Eric Clapton.
You know my name. If I saw you in heaven.
As one of the most brilliant guitarists ever, Eric Clapton enjoyed tremendous success early in his career, but fell on hard times during the mid-80s.
I'll find my way.
After releasing the well-received 1989 album Journeyman, the musician had to cope with the tragic death of his 4-year-old son. As a result, Clapton composed the heartbreaking Tears in Heaven, which allowed him to confront his pain in the best way he knew how.
There'll be no more tears in heaven.
The song won 3 Grammy Awards, but Clapton later decided to close out a dark chapter in his life and remove Tears in Heaven from live performances.
'Cause I know I don't belong here in heaven.
Number 2. Smooth. Santana featuring Rob Thomas.
And it's a hot one, like 7 inches from the midday sun.
In 1992, Santana's album Milagro peaked at 102 on the charts, but 7 years later, they reached number 1 with this scorching collaboration with Matchbox 20's Rob Thomas.
And if you said this life ain't good enough, I'd give my world to lift you up. I could change.
Released 1 week into summer, the opening lyrics set the stage for a complete conquest of radio airplay. Smooth ultimately spent 12 weeks at number 1 and gave Carlos Santana his biggest hit since Black Magic Woman. While many rock legends his age disappeared years prior, the supernatural shaman continued to shine in smooth fashion.
Give me your heart, make it real, or else forget about it.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
That's why we told you way. Dream of Californication. Just try and have a little patience.
Number 1, Hurt, Johnny Cash.
I hurt myself today.
Well, you probably didn't see this one coming. In 2002, that is.
Try to kill it all away.
After an almost 50 years in the music industry, Johnny Cash shocked the world by covering Nine Inch Nails' 1995 single, Hurt. With arguably one of the most powerful music videos of all time, Johnny Cash offered a stripped-down approach as clips of his extraordinary career accompanied the track.
And you could have it all. My empire of dirt.
Just months after filming, both Johnny Cash and his wife would pass away. But this unforgettable comeback song reminded listeners of all they accomplished through the years.
You are someone else. I am still right here.
Do you agree with our list? What are your favorite comeback songs? For more music top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.